Hello guys, this is Andrei, a certified translator and a real estate concierge. You know that I'm relocating people down here, Minsk and across Belarus, officially as a matter of fact. And this gentleman is Lars, authentic German from Germany who moved here 2 years by now, I guess, with the family.
Exactly.
He runs a blog of himself. A few words about it.
Yeah, we are running the blog Peppermint News on YouTube. We are telling everything about Minsk, restaurants, shopping, cars, how to register a car, everything you need to know when you start here.
And then with that knowledge you go to me and we get it done. So today we're talking about driving in Belarus. I understand Lars is an active driver of a car here in Minsk. Actually, I sinned myself. I helped the German guy to buy a Russian car from a dealership, the Lada, the glorious thing you'll be seeing in the shots. Let's talk about driving in Belarus from a German's perspective. So Lars, what's your general opinion about driving in Belarus?
Drivers in Belarus are quite good. So nobody is honking, everything is quiet, you have no troubles, nobody is taking your way. So driving is quite good. Even in a big city like Minsk, it's not a problem at all to drive here.
When I was a tour guide, everybody complimented the roads. Now you're a German guy, you know those world famous German roads.
Yeah. Roads are very good. So, of course, here it's a speed limit on the Autobahn, on the highway, but the rest is just comparable to Germany. Only if you go very far into the village areas, there might be some bumps in the street, but in Minsk, every road is perfect.
Almost everyone. Okay, yeah, that's quite right, but Vitebsk right now is not an ideal place for a driver. But we're in Minsk anyway. What about the road signs, you know, like this driver's comfort infrastructure, road stops, roadside toilets and that kind of stuff from a German's perspective? Something to improve perhaps?
Yes, okay, if you are just on a parking place somewhere on the highway there, the toilets might be a little bit simple, but in general everything is okay. What you have to learn first is the traffic lights, because you have this green arrow, which means you are allowed to drive, but you are guilty if something happens, so you have to watch out.
As long as everybody passes by from any direction, you take this side green light, but locals misunderstand this. There is a great spot by the post office where a lot of cars get hit, because these guys see the extra green, the main red, and they say, oh, I had the extra green, why did you not let me through, kind of thing. So they are wrong, of course. So yeah, locals don't know the traffic rules perfectly either, so it's no big deal. Something I guess Lars would not like to improve to European standards is the fuel price. Diesel is the most expensive fuel, and 98th benzene is more expensive, but it's not very much trendy. I use 95th. Lars uses benzene or diesel?
No, benzene.
Benzene.
And I also take always 95, and it's quite good. And compared to European currency, I would say about 80 cents a liter, which is quite good.
Something like that. So we don't want to be up to the European standards for sure. Traffic rules are more or less universal, I guess. There is this whatever convention that got them uniform. Do you find many different signs or hard to understand signs over here?
No, the main difference is the green light, the small green light. It's traffic lights. The rest is comparable. It's very easy.
And triangle with white background and dot in the middle. What does it mean? The Russians are always asking me about this.
I've never seen it.
Unique sign to Russia, but it's a hazard or accident-prone stretch of the road. Just saying. There may be a few wrinkles here and there in their everyday life. You'll not be bothered by this. You will be bothered by the traffic cops, by the way, if your country is a party to 1968 Vienna Convention on the driving license. What happens then? What's the story with your license, translation, cops stopping you? Have a chat?
No, I have a chat with some policemen, especially if you are driving nights. They try to pick you if you are drunken or not. But so far the German license worked out fine. I think if you have a permanent residency, then you have to
No, it's a different
have
matter.
a new
Permanent
passport.
residency or citizenship necessitates 90-day replacement of your own license to take exams here. It's a different story. So what I mean is foreigner driving around, translation. Germany signed the Vienna Convention. I believe translation is not required because you have standard license, kind of. Everything is okay.
Plastic card.
But many Germans have it just in case because they're Germans, you know. So on top of talking to the cops and meeting the cops, there is occasionally a fine, and I guess fines here are much more democratic than in Germany. And who, if not a German, can confirm that?
Yeah, fines are quite cheap. So if you are speeding, let's say on the highway, maybe you are 10, 15, 20 too fast, then the fine will be up to, let's say, maximum $20 or euros. So this is quite cheap. But if you are a foreigner, you have to watch out. If you are doing 5 fines in 1 year, then you have to leave the country.
And he will be kicked out to Germany, and I will not be kicked out to Germany. That's not bloody democratic. You mentioned the plus 10 kilometers an hour, right? They allow you plus 10 kilometers, but plus 11 kilometers on top of the limit is not a good idea. Radars are marked very obviously with yellow little warning signs with a camera, and as a newcomer you weren't really paying much attention before the first ones.
Yep.
And then you just learn how to do that, and Yandex Maps is tipping off you where they are, even those installed like for the few hours.
Yeah, and they are giving you also a warning if you are too fast on Yandex Maps.
By the way,
this is the best you have to do.
I had a guy in a rented car rolling to Vilnius and back. He had himself a nice ride. He enjoyed the ride very well because he got 4 fines when we got to extend his TRP. The OGIM guys said, guys, your fines, which never reached him, either because he didn't check the post box or for some other reasons because the cops used some other transcription of the official name. He didn't get them. He screwed it up. They went into the enforced execution. And that's the uniformed guys who collect your stuff and TV set and cat if you fail to pay the bills due by court. And we had to do some bureaucracy and wasted 3 more days to undo the fines, settle with the government, and then extend the guy's TRP. Of course, we were given a lecture in our favorite Centralny Agim that such conduct is not a good idea for a foreigner, or his ass will be kicked out to his EU country. Lars is a good guy here. He's not speeding that much, so he's in the clear after a couple of wrinkles that he had with his first speed cameras.
Yeah, but I had a warning for jaywalking. So this is very important. Do not do jaywalking because police is quite somewhere and they will pick you.
Coming out of nowhere. By the way, in Centralny Agim, by that shopping mall where they're based, essentially the patrol cars are fishing for folks, and I was given a call the other day by my Belgian refugee. The cops grabbed him. We had a gentlemanly conversation. I promised the cop to give my Belgian guy a lecture about not doing this again. We parted, just nothing, no offense, no fine, no anything. So things are democratic in terms of human factor. You can negotiate things. Negotiating not meaning any kinds of corruption, just a human conversation, sometimes.
Yes, we didn't pay anything, it's just a verbal warning. So they put us on one list, no matter if they really put it on a list, but they said to.
What else is different from the good old Europe?
Yeah, you see only a few bicycles, and if they are bicycles, they have to go on the pathway. So it's not allowed to drive on the street. Only on the highway you are allowed to run your bicycle on the shoulder of the highway. 1
meter away from the side, and none of the highways. But the highways with all the bands have some strange guys moving there. It's not a big deal. What about motorcycles?
No. Well, I've seen here maybe the whole time 10 motorcycles at all.
At night time, they used to give some headache to the main street residents because they're roaring down the straight lines, and Independence Avenue is fairly straight and long. and there was a big bad deal, but just last season they established some kind of a ban for the motorbikes. And I think they just picked a different location like Partizansky Avenue or something, which is down the factory district. So now they're not giving much trouble neither to drivers, and they're all frequent accident causers, nor to the good civilians. What else?
What else? Buses. You see a lot of buses, and especially trolley buses.
Public transport is quite well developed in Minsk, so if you go down the standard, let's say, scheme, work, kindergarten and things, you might opt for a car, but often a selection of public transportation is at your service, and they're fairly cheap and fairly safe and clean.
And no
like
people
metro and everything
which are giving you any troubles. For example, my boy can go late in the evening with the metro, which I would sometimes avoid in Germany. You know, it's
yes, and my American has some horror stories to tell. Tomorrow I hope we'll get TRP. Obviously you have been through a couple of car shops. Lada isn't a BMW. There's a German plated BMW, by the way. And Lada, does it break? What's the problem? What are the expenses?
No, so far I'm very happy. I bought it, and you have to imagine as German, you go to the Lada shop, say, okay, I want to have a car, I want to have a Vesta, and all they ask you is, okay, we have 3 different colors in stock, and then you ask, when can I have it? And they say, oh, about 2 days, and that's it. You pay, and that's it.
Like standard black, dark black, and bright black.
No, this is not right. It's brown, red, white. Oh, they have blue. And if you have the extra version, which is quite popular, you have a very nice metallic orange.
Those are the standard colors of our life. So essentially that would be it about driving. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. My contacts are down below. I'll leave a link to Lars's channel as well if you want to discuss some German things in German. And we'll be back with another driving story from another gentleman very soon. Happy to see you anytime in Minsk. Lars, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Human.
Yeah. No corona here.
Anti-COVID goodbye. I guess there's no corona anywhere now. See you later, guys. Cheers.